yourself from moving to daily job to being a full-time trader, have a few hours a week set out. So let's say you're part-time right now, you're a full-time worker and part-time trader, have specific hours every single day that you trade. And then when you're not working those out, when you're not trading those hours, you're doing your thing. Very set schedule. You need to build up a cash account to a point where you are able to completely replace your current income and then have a little buffer on top of that. Because again, you're not going to win every single month. So if you have a losing month, you need to make sure you have enough buffer in place to take care of that. So you just slowly build that up. How come moneymakers make themselves lose? I don't get it. Yeah, it's actually very simple, Alex. So think about it like this. Forget about you being a retail trader. Imagine if you could be the what do you call them? The in poker, the person who's the dealer. So let's say you could host a poker table, and that you don't have to bet on the cards at all. You are just the dealer providing the table. You provide the chips, and you bring all the people to the table. And for every pot that's collected, you get to take a portion of that. Now think about that. If you had a chance to do that business, which would you rather do? Make money on every single pot without having to make an actual bet, or be someone who has to make an actual bet, and sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. If I had the choice and I had an extra 500 million in the bank, I would love to be a market maker, because then I don't have to worry about direction. I don't have to worry about being right or wrong on direction. All I have to do is facilitate trades, collect the spread on every single trade, and just delta hedge that, which algorithms can do for me. So dealers and market makers will sometimes lose on the trade itself because they're not going to win it. Like, they're going to take positions in the market and they'll delta hedge that, but it's not perfect. Sometimes big moves happen and they're caught off sides. That's going to happen from time to time. But they don't care about direction. They just care about collecting that spread on every single trade. And if you could do that millions of times a day, you would take it hand over fist. Super straightforward. Victor, Chris, in Option School and Trading Waves, do we get to learn how to trade and trade like you? So Option School teaches you all the lessons. Trading Waves, you get access to the signals. You get access to me live on Mondays, which you can ask me questions and learn how I think. But the full gamut of how everything I teach, that's what Benzing Option School, like, that will teach you everything about the options market, right? So, yes, the tools are available in both of them. I want to learn to do this on my own rather than just taking, then you'd want to sign up for Benzing Option School as well. Yeah. And you think shares as property, renting them as like selling covered calls? Sort of. Would footprint charts help in understanding order flow? No. Because you don't know whether they're coming in or coming out, right? Footprint charts just let you know the actual transactions happening. You don't know whether that's a new trade coming in or a new trade coming out. That's the problem with footprint or level 2. Is because you don't know whether those option positions are going to add to that strike or take away from that strike. You won't know until between 12 and 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 a.m. Eastern to 3 a.m. Eastern is when all the open interest gets updated. So yeah, you won't know about that. All right. I feel like I've are you providing us with your special software for PFP? No, we give you the tools, and we're working on building more and more tools. But yeah, there is no special software for PFP. Yeah, we would need the HAL 9000. We would need like a mega AI computer. I'd probably need Skynet to build a software tool to fully elucidate PFP. I have 60,000 hours behind the charts. How do you build an AI algorithm to understand that much experience and pattern recognition? I would need to sit with an AI and marry that AI for like the next 5 years and explain it over and over again before it could figure it out. So there's no special software. That's my 24 years experience that I'm sharing with y'all. I am building tools to help give you insights into what I see and share little bits of information right now, but there is no special software tool for PFP. Successful millionaire traders all tell me options are a scam. Yeah, you should highly run away from those people. Yeah. That's the most ridiculous statement possible. There are entire option trading desks and prop firms. I consult for a prop firm that only trades options that will completely disagree with that. Like, yeah, whoever said that is a freaking idiot. Excuse me for saying that. They're an idiot. I don't know why you think options are a scam. It's the most insane thing possible. No, I don't have a fund. Yeah. Okay. All right. I feel like I have ooh, very good question. Last question of the day, and then I'm going to pass it over to Rodrigo. How do you control losses with physical stop loss or mental? So generally you want an actual stop loss on every single trade. Why? Because if you have an actual stop loss in place, then that's there available and I don't have to react and be right there when the market crosses that price, right? So before you get into every trade, you should have your stop loss delineated for every single trade. In fact, before you get any trade, you should have a full plan for what you think is going to happen. And then if you're wrong, you know exactly how to get out. And if you're more right than you think, then you have ways to keep taking advantage of. That should all be mapped out ahead of time. All of that. And so when my members come to me with a trade idea, like, Chris, I'm thinking about this, I didn't go to here, I will tell them, hey, I like this idea. And they'll ask me, like, hey, how should I trail? I'll be like, you should trail with this. If it does this, you take profit. If it does this, you get out of the trade. That should all be planned ahead of time. And then you put that in the trade itself. So that should all be there ahead of time. So you should not have, I don't rely upon mental stop losses unless you're exceptionally disciplined and you can be there every minute of that you're in the market, that you can be there. Because if not, something can happen when you're not there. If you don't have a stop loss in place, you're exposed to risk. So super important. Okay, the last two questions I'm calling it. In options, what's an ideal stop loss percentage? Why do you think there's an ideal stop loss percentage? Do you think the institutional market cares about your 30%, 50%, 70% stop loss? Does anybody really think the entire market cares about your 30, 50, 70% stop loss? Or do you think the market is going to go where the highest imbalance of order flow is? What do you think? What do y'all think? Seriously. Do you think the market cares whether you have a 30, 50, 70% stop loss? Or, like, I don't. Because if the market thinks that SPY is going to go to XYZ price and all the flows are pushing for that, they will not care. They don't care about your stop loss. So the market scans your stop loss. When you say the market, who is the market? They don't scan your stops and take you out. Dealers don't care about that. That's totally inaccurate. I know. I was a broker. I know. I'm not looking at people's stop loss and be like, oh, let's push the market. If I push the market, try and take out your stop loss, then I'm exposed to where the market should be. I push the market artificially, even though the market should be here. It's just totally not accurate at all. Market doesn't scan your stops to take you out. That is a complete myth. Absolute myth. Dealers and market makers have algorithmic hedging impacts that they do. They don't care about your stop losses. You are not big enough for them to care for. So, yes, exactly. Market doesn't care. Yeah. So, the market doesn't care about the percentage stop loss. Therefore, you should never have a fixed stop loss. Your stop loss should be based upon where you're wrong and where is the institutional market going. Okay, the last question. Don't you give away your position with your stop loss? Yeah, but again, it doesn't matter, Sean. Again, a market maker who has a $500 million, $500 million, or $1 billion book does not care about my $50,000 or $100,000 position. It does not care. It's not going to artificially move the market to take me out because, again, if it does that, it's pushing the market away from where it should be, which means that eventually it's going to have to return to that. And while they push it artificially to one side, they're exposed. So yeah, it's just complete fiction. This is what retail traders tell themselves to feel like somebody's out to get them. I can tell you when I was a broker, I didn't know one retail trader that was like, oh, I'm going to get that guy. I see a stop loss. I'm going to push the market there. Never happened. Never ever happen. It's not what we think about on the institutional side. We don't care about your stop losses. We care about making money in terms of where is the market going. You know, if you're a broker, you fill orders for your biggest clients, you make money that way, and then you have your own proprietary book. And your own proprietary book is where you think the market can go. So yeah, there is no percentage ideal stop loss. It's a fiction. All right. I have I have covered pretty much what I want to. And yeah, Jim Cramer admitted trying to game retail though. Jim Cramer is not the market. Yeah, Jim Cramer is not the market. Never has been. All right. With that being said, I feel like okay, Rodrigo, I really would, but I have to go to the baño real quick. So I will stay on for 5 or 10 more minutes. Give me 1 minute to go to the baño real quick.
Yeah, no problem, guys. So we're gonna have Chris here for a little bit more. Now after that, I'll give you guys a walkthrough, okay, of trading waves, the option school. Of course, we're gonna talk a little bit about pro, which is only included in the lifetime, Michael. And yes, you have to call in for the lifetime. It's not on the checkout. I'm getting that question here a lot. So we're gonna give Chris here a minute. He's gonna be right back here with us. Kyle, yes. There's a 30-day money back guarantee on all the packages. The lifetime, the 1 year, they all have it. Yeah, and then I'll show you guys another thing afterwards, after that. So make sure you stick around after the end, when we do the walkthrough.
Okay. Thank you for that. So I think you do, Angeli. I don't. All right. So, few things, and then I want to kind of wrap it up. So, you all now are faced with the choice. And you got to realize that I have probably said some things that are different from what you've heard before. And I have a certain amount of experience that other people don't. Like in the Benzinga team universe, there's only one person that has more experience than me, and that's Matt Maley. And he's older. But Matt has a different trading style than I do. And I have both the institutional experience, but I have a kind of a pseudo quantitative approach to options market that Matt doesn't have. And Matt will tell you that I look at things very differently. We still end up arriving at similar conclusions.